As we dive deeper into High Republic content and get to know the Nihil more and more, I've seen a pretty fun theory pop up a handful of times. People have been asking if the Nihil and Enfys Nest's Cloud Rider gang could be related. Today I'll explain the theory, where it's coming from, and then weigh in on whether or not I think it could be true. In the High Republic, the Nihil are known as raiders in the Outer Rim territories. They use weaponized gas in their attacks, and so they're usually seen wearing gas masks. Their organization is broken into groups called Tempests, Storms, Clouds, and Strikes. Their ships were outfitted with harpoons and cables that could rip an enemy ship apart. So you can see that there are a lot of similarities between the Nihil and the Cloud Riders. Enfys Nest's gang also wears masks, although they seem to be for style only. They don't serve any function like a gas mask, at least as far as we know. They're also called Raiders by Rio, who claims that they show up on Vandor to snake the score out from under Han and his crew. In that very attack, they use harpoons to attempt to steal the coaxium-filled train car. And of course, their very name, Cloud Riders, ties directly back into the Nihil and their structure. This observation is more subjective, but I do think the Cloud Riders and the Nihil share a similar kind of punk rock vibe, but that's just me. So could these connections all be on purpose? Could the Nihil eventually turn into something like the Cloud Riders? I think that's very possible. The writers of the High Republic era have planned their story out completely. They know the major beats all the way through Phase 3. One of the stories I think they are clearly telling is the shift in the Jedi Order, what causes them to change from more flexible beliefs about the Force into the more strict and dogmatic view of the prequel-era Jedi. But we're also getting smaller stories about the Santeca clan or the Staros family, both of whom are seen in positions of wealth and power in the High Republic. But the next time we see anyone from those families in the timeline, they have certainly fallen from grace. Why can't the same be true for the Nihil? What I think is even more interesting is that while we might see the Nihil fall from their position of fear and power in the galaxy down into a small gang of raiders, we could also see their values evolve. If this connection is true, we'll see them transform from an organization that cares only for themselves into a gang that seeks to help the galaxy. And yet, their sense of anarchy will still be at their core. I think it would be really cool to see the Nihil become the Cloud Riders, go from evil to good. Now, I'm not convinced that will be their story as told in the High Republic. I think we might just see them be villains the whole time. Enfys talks about how her mother once wore her very mask, so maybe it's like a Nihil heirloom or something. We might see that exact helmet appear in the High Republic, but used in a very different way. We could learn that Enfys' ancestor and their cloud survived and that's it, and then we could be left to fill in the gaps for ourselves. We can wonder how that small band of survivors changed into the Cloud Riders, but it doesn't have to be explicitly spelled out. I like that idea. So yeah, I think this theory absolutely has merit. There sure are a lot of similarities between the two groups to think it's all just a coincidence. It feels like one of those things that might be intentional but won't ever be confirmed, which I enjoy. I liked when they let us wonder if Ilum was Starkiller Base for a while, dropping new hints every so often until finally showing us in Fallen Order. But what do you think? Are the Cloud Riders related to the Nihil? Do you want them to be? Let me know in the comments. If you haven't already, please like this video, subscribe to the channel to keep up with all our Star Wars coverage, follow us on Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, and consider checking out our Patreon page. As always, thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you.